A blockbuster merger between Charter and Cox Communications, the Digital Equity Act, gets stopped in its tracks. Oklahoma recommends $53 million in middle-mile broadband grants. Texas releases its Notice of Funding Availability, BEAD and TMAP, and 500 megabit per second tier service, now considered entry-level broadband. Those stories and more on This Week in the Broadband Universe. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Craig Corbin. Two of the largest cable companies in the nation have announced plans to merge. Charter Communications and Atlanta-based Cox Communications have entered into an agreement valued at $34.5 billion and would result in an estimated 36.5 million subscribers under one roof. Charter's Spectrum brand will become the consumer-facing brand across all customers, but the new company will take the Cox Communications name. The deal, contingent on regulatory and shareholder approvals, expected to close alongside the Charter-Liberty Broadband merger, which was announced last fall. The plug has been pulled on the $2.75 billion Digital Equity Act, part of the bipartisan infrastructure law. Notification of the nationwide termination of digital equity grants went out to all states and territories and 65 other organizations. The Digital Equity Act included $1.44 billion for a state digital equity capacity grant program, $1.35 billion for a digital equity competitive grant program, along with $60 million for state digital equity planning grants. Oklahoma's Broadband Governing Board this week recommended for approval more than $53 million in middle-mile broadband expansion grants. Indian Electric Cooperative slated to receive more than $4.3 million for a total of 4 projects. Pine Telephone, $2.7 million for a middle-mile project in Latimer County. Resound Networks, $1.5 million for 3 projects. Trace Fiber Networks, $3.9 million for 3 projects, and $40.8 million to Hillary for middle-mile projects in Alex, Burns, Flat, Cordell, Daisy, Duke North, Duke South, Gracemont, Granite, and Tallahena. A number of other providers were recommended for approval if future funding becomes available. Texas has released its Notice of Funding Availability for both BEAD and TMAP, the Texas Match Assistance Program. Projects must aim to deploy broadband service to all unserved or underserved locations in the project areas in order to be eligible. June 12th, first day to submit applications, and that period runs through August the 1st. The House Energy and Commerce Committee advanced budget reconciliation language that could restore spectrum auction authority to the Federal Communications Commission. An estimated $88 billion could be raised with the auction of 600 megahertz of mid-band spectrum. The FCC lost spectrum auction authority in March of 2023 for the first time in 30 years. Elsewhere, the FCC opening an investigation into EchoStar's compliance to build out a 5G nationwide network. EchoStar received an extension last September to meet build-out milestones. The investigation focuses on EchoStar's use of both 5G spectrum and 2 gigahertz band satellite spectrum. More details announced this week from the Walt Disney Company on its new direct-to-consumer ESPN app. It'll be branded as ESPN, and it will be available in packages as low as the Select plan for $11.99 a month to the Unlimited plan for $29.99 per month. The app will launch in early fall with bundling opportunities for the ESPN Unlimited plan with Disney Plus and Hulu. A new report by market research firm Terrafica shows that the 500 gigabit per second tier has now replaced the 100 megabit per second tier as entry-level standard for broadband service nationwide. The average pricing gap virtually non-existent between the two tiers, an average of $57.66 for a 500 megabit per second plan versus $49.11 for a 100 megabit per second plan. Pricing relatively flat below 1 gigabit per second. Highest prices overall found in Kansas City. And finally, one highlight of the upfront advertising presentations by networks and platforms this week, YouTube introducing new ad formats, including an enhanced shoppable connected TV offering with a new interactive product feed. The shoppable format allows advertisers to display products on the right side of the TV screen during ads, and viewers can browse multiple products using their remote controls, scan a QR code, and get a direct link for purchase. There's also a button that will let you send that link to your phone so you can shop for all the products being offered at one time. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on This Week in the Broadband Universe.